Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today's video is going to be kicking off my top 3 favorites in every category series, and today we're doing lips. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today's video is going to be my weekly series for this month. I've been trying to do this for a couple of months now, where once a month I come on here and all of the videos are themed around the same topic. I've done an eyeshadow palette week in April, I've done K-Beauty week over in July, and I thought for September it would be nice to talk to you about my top 3 favorites in every category, because I think I did this kind of video around the same time last year, and I think it's interesting to see how these kind of favorites change year by year. And so I just want to talk to you about some of my all-time favorite products, and there are definitely some changes here. However, I don't think there are any surprises here if you've been watching my channel for some time. In case you're new here, then hi, my name is Maaike. I live in the Netherlands. I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, and this just means it influences my makeup preferences greatly, which of course goes into a top 3 favorites in every category. I've been reviewing makeup for more than a decade. I love eyeshadow palettes as CATRICE and getting the use out of my makeup. And I really hope you would like to join this little family I've got going on here by subscribing to the channel down below. So yes, today we're kicking things off in top 3 in every category. We're starting things off with lips, but I will also be doing cheeks, face, and eyes. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do face first or cheeks first. We'll see how it goes with the editing process. But eyes is going to be the last one that's going to go up on Sunday. So all of my usual posting days this month, or this week, I should say, you're going to get a video for me that has this exact same outfit and this exact same makeup look, because I'm going to be filming all 4 of these back to back, just so you know. So yeah, let me start with lip gloss first. So for lip gloss, this was a category that a couple of years ago I wouldn't even be able to feature in a video like this, because I wasn't a huge fan of lip gloss. For a very long time, it had to be a full-on matte lipstick, and I wasn't really wearing anything else. However, with the pandemic and all the mask wearing that we were required to do, a matte full-on red lip didn't really work with that. So I really discovered the beauty of lip gloss, and I have found a couple of formulas that I just really rate highly. My favorite one quite possibly being the Tower 28. I had one in coconut, which I used up because these tend to expire quite quickly, because Tower 28 is a clean beauty brand and they don't put a whole lot of like chemicals in their products, which if that's something you're into, that's fine, but it does mean your product will expire a little bit quickly. Because I love coconut, but because I found it a bit too orange leaning for my preferences, I ended up purchasing pistachio, and then they also came up with sesame, and these are like your perfect mauve tone glosses, and mauve gloss cream without any shimmer is my favorite thing. These are some of the most comfortable glosses that are non-sticky and that do stay put on your lips. So I rate these very highly, even though I really have to hunt these down. The only place I can buy Tower 28 is Revolve, and they ship FedEx. So this is always a nightmare to buy. But yeah, you can just see how much I've used my pistachio already. I've used about 1/5 of this already, and I've only had this since earlier this year. I wear sesame a little bit less because it's darker. But if you want something that I think you can still get quite easily, at least in my local drugstore, I can still find this. However, this product is sadly very difficult to source online at the minute, because I think they've discontinued it. But at my local drugstore, I was able to find this still till this day. The CATRICE Better Than Fake Lips Volumizing Gloss in Lifting Nude. A lot of people think because it has volume in the name that this is going to be a lip plumper. It's not. There are different ways in which you can volumize your lips. One of them is to make them tingle and have them go bigger because of that, or to just add a ton of shine and hydration and make your lips look plump that way. And that's what this formula aims to do. It's supposed to hydrate, it's supposed to have a nice bit of shine to make your lips look bigger. Lifting Nude is like that perfect mauve tone. Love this one. It goes with every look. I've used one of these up earlier in the year, and I've bought 2 backups when I saw this disappearing on the websites. KIKO still had some when I picked them up, and this is like $3.99 at the drugstore. Great formula. Not everybody loves the scent of these, but I have to say that I've now, of course, bought a couple of other ones, And I don't mind the scent with this. It's not overly strong. It's quite a fresh smell, so I don't mind it that much with this one. And then last but not least, a really nice gloss formula, and this was gifted to me in PR, is by Victoria Beckham. This is the Posh Gloss in the shade Fizz. However, what I have found, Victoria Beckham Beauty is another clean beauty brand. This separates terribly. So every single time I've gone to use it, I need to like push the doe foot applicator back in to make the balmy element, the glossy element, and the pigment like mixing again. So this is one that maybe if you don't like that, it may not be right for you, but I really enjoy the formula. And again, great mauve tone. This is a bit warmer out of everything. Like if you put the three like lighter mauve tones together, then this is the one that's most peachy. This is the one that's the most plum, the Catrice, and then the Victoria Beckham sort of like sits in between shade-wise, I feel. Like it's got a bit more pink than the other ones. So I like all three of these though. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say this in the intro, but I have swatches for all of these, either up on the channel or up on the blog. Maybe not the exact product, it's quite new to me, but I've also done shorts with a lot of my favorites. So if you type in a product that you're interested in after seeing it in this video, over on the blog or here on the channel, you can very easily find other content that I've made. It's going to take too much time if I also have to swatch everything. Because I have a lot of products to talk about today. Next up are lip tints, because lip tints are currently everywhere, and if you've been with me over the summertime, you know I did a giant K-beauty lip tint trial sort of situation. I'm gonna do another video for you later this month where I try some new shades in formulas that I know I quite like, plus a couple of formulas I haven't tried that still caught my eye on YESSTYLE. But I think these are my three favorites so far. The Amuse Dew tints are great. This has a very difficult name. I don't think it's still available, but it's this brightish pink, which is actually quite similar to what I'm wearing today, but I'll tell you in a little bit what that actually is. So yeah, this is very hydrating on the lips, and it does have a staining effect, so the color does stay put. You can reapply this throughout the day quite easily though. With some lip stains, you get a weird ring around your mouth, but none of these do that. Then I think one of my favorite formulas as well, like anything I've tried from Romand this year has been a success for me, so I want to try their entire line at some point. My first true love from Romand though was their Zero Velvet tint. I've bought some other formulas by Romand, which is why some of their sheer things I don't want to recommend yet, because I need to test them a little bit, out a little bit more. But Vintage Taupe is the shade I repurchased after trying this formula and really liking it, but I didn't quite love the shades I owned. I had this little set of 3, and one of the shades was a straight-on dupe for Lisa Eldridge's Velvet Jazz. I actually did a short with that, but Vintage Taupe is the one that really appealed to me. It is like it looks cooler in the tube because of the frosting, but it's like a warmish rosy brown, and it's very pretty on. Very great for fall. And then last but not least, I really enjoy Peri Para lip products as well. Their ink velvet tints are quite possibly some of my favorites. This is in the shade Fuchsia Red, but I have a couple of their reds right now, and I cannot decide which one I like best. They're really stunning, liquefied lipsticks, you could say. They do stain, but they all have like a pretty like pinkish stain. I found with all of the K-beauty stuff when I swatched them for you in June and July that the stain that's usually left behind is a little bit of a pink, even if you put on an intense red like this. But yeah, this is the most lipstick-like in terms of a skin, like a lip tint goes. And these are incredibly high quality, and they have really cute packaging, and they stay put really well. But if I have to categorize my own personal lip discovery of 2023, it's the Humble Lip Oil. I had the Dior Lip Glow Oil in my makeup collection for a while, and this year is the year where it's just been sitting in my work bag every single day. So I tend to not even take the color lipstick I put on in the morning with me to work anymore. I just throw this in the bag, and then I just like smudge in whatever color's left, put a little bit of this on top after I've had lunch, and I'm good to go. I really enjoy this formula. It's been my favorite lip oil for some time now. I think actually when I decluttered my makeup collection in the springtime, this was like the only lip oil I kept around, because I was like, all of these lip oils feel and do the same thing. I had a couple of the CATRICE ones. They're powerful lip tints, I think, which I really enjoyed. But because I like this better, I was like, it pretty much goes on clear. So I don't need like a million different lip oils in my makeup collection. But so many new formulas have come out, and I'm currently in the midst of trying a lot of them. So I wanted to feature some here because this is not the only thing that's good. And something that I've only just tested out are the new CATRICE GLOSSIN Glow tinted lip oils. And these are my two favorite shades from the line. There are 5 shades in total in this lineup, and they're very similar to the House Labs colors. So if you know the House Labs lip tint, you look it up online, it comes in a couple of shades as well. And CATRICE has pretty much duped that line. However, as you can see, CATRICE was also trying to dupe Dior at the same time, but I think this like lightish pink is like the standard color for any lip oil to come in. So this is Keep It Juicy, and I actually find this more hydrating on my lips than the Dior one. So this may have actually knocked the Dior off its top spot. I said that already in my review video that I posted last week, but this is really, really lovely. And this, what's this shade called? Glossip Girl is a straight-on dupe for the House Labs lip oil in tint. It's also this hot pink shade that it comes in. I swatched them side by side. Formula-wise, shade-wise, I find these very much on par with some of the high-end stuff I've been trying. And some of the high-end stuff that I've been trying, but it has a little bit more color to it. I feel that this Rare Beauty, what's this called again? Tinted lip oil is much more like the K-Beauty lip tints I just showed you. So this kind of sits in between the Dior Lip Glow oil and the K-Beauty lip tints I just showed you. But a lot of Rare Beauty products are made in Korea. So I feel that Rare Beauty is sort of like westernizing a lot of K-Beauty formulas, and I would then rather promote like the real deal because the K-Beauty stuff is often much more affordable than something like Rare Beauty. But the shade Wonder, it is this mauve-y shade, and that's one thing that I do appreciate because this does have a little bit of a cooler undertone, and a lot of K-Beauty stuff can be quite warm-toned. So I really rate this very highly as well, but I would rather pick up some of my K-Beauty stuff. But as far as a lip oil goes, I did really enjoy this. Next up are sheer lipsticks, and we can talk about what's on my lips today because I thought this like corally pinkish shade went pretty well with the shirt I'm wearing today, and this like soft green look. I wanted to go for like that 60s mod vibe. I just feel this kind of color combination very much reminds me of the 60s, and it doesn't get any better for a sheer formula than the Lisa Eldridge Luxuriously Lucent lipsticks, and this is in the shade Wonder Wheel. It's one of my favorite shades in this line. I've said in the past how I wanted Atomic Cherry to be this, but then she launched this later and I was like, that's what I wanted it to be. It's this like corally, but not too coral, brighter pinky tone. And it's just such a fun shade for like the spring summer season. This really amplifies any lip without it being too in your face. And that's why I like this. A lot of the nudes in this lineup are really nice, and some of the deeper shades as well. I really rate this formula. But I also really enjoy the Voile. This is, right? Yeah, the Voile formula from GUCCY. This is in May Coral, and this is like Wonder Wheel, but more orange. It was very, very pretty on. I tried actually the more pinky toned version of this. GUCCY does like 40 different colors in every single formula they have, and they overlap a lot in like their different formulas. So you can get like a similar shade, like at least the name is the same. They're not always the same shade though. And the packaging is stunning. But this smells very heavily of floral fragrance, which you have to be a big fan of, I think. Plus, these are very, very expensive. They're 42 euros. However, I am loving that the drugstore is starting to be on board with this sheer lipstick formula. I picked up some of the Milani sheer formulas. I've got a couple from Glossier that are a little bit more, like a little less expensive than these ones are, which I also enjoy. But recently I've really, really fallen in love with this guy. This is by Mina, and it's a brand I've tried for the first time this year. I picked this up when I was in London, and I instantly knew I wanted to try this on my lips. And this is really interesting because it is a sheer balm-like formula. It's called the Color Lip Glow, and it comes in this really nice bright shade. and it applies and feels like a lip balm, which I feel the other high-end ones do as well. But this does have a little bit of a, well, I shouldn't call it a dry down, but it kind of settles and it kind of stains your lips that way. This is shade 371, which I enjoy because, again, Mina as well. If you buy a product that also has 371 from the rest of the range, it's also going to be this hot pink, which I think is really nice. I really like their aesthetic. I'm now following them on Instagram, and this is a new product by them that they only launched this summer. So I was really happy to find it in Superdrug, and I've been wearing this shade a lot in the past couple of weeks to work, and it lasts a really good while. Like, these aren't the most long-lasting things, of course, for your lips, but these are lovely. Next up, nude lips, because I love a nude lip, even though I tend to go for a gloss nowadays, but I still have my favorites. I really enjoy, of course, Velvet Muse from Lisa Eldridge. This nub has been through the ringer. Like, I've worn this down so much. I try to keep things clean, so that's why it doesn't look completely mangled. But yeah, the Lisa Eldridge True Velvet formula is one of my favorites, so you're going to see a couple of the other shades in a minute, because I can't help but recommend these at all. I have a video up where I've swatched all of my True Velvets on my lips, and then I found out I'm missing one shade. So I'm gonna pick it up at some point, and then hopefully this winter I can update that video and include the shades I don't have. Oh well. But yeah, Velvet Muse is my favorite nude I have in my entire makeup collection, so it has to be shared here. But I also really enjoy Mildred Rosewood from Gucci, and this is like, it's Velvet Muse, but darker and a little bit more reddish toned. It's like a reddish toned nude brown on me, and I really, really rate shades like this. It's perfect into fall time, and this is the satin formula from Gucci, and that's my favorite, I think, from all of them. The voile is definitely something different, but the satin, it's like in between the voile and the matte formula, so it has a lot of pigment. It truly packs a punch, but it still has a very nice creamy formula that's very comfortable on the lips, but this doesn't slide anywhere. It doesn't look weird. This is definitely truly innovation in a lipstick. Again, the weird floral scent though. And similarly, another really good cream formula, again, sent to me in PR, the Victoria Beckham Beauty Posh Lipstick. I'm holding up the shade Jump. I could have shown you the other two shades, but I can only show you so much if I'm showing you my top 3 in every category. And this is another really good mauve tone, actually. So Jump I rate very highly. These are so creamy that they have to come in the skinny tube, and you shouldn't twist them up too far because then they can be very prone to breakage. So you have to be careful with this. I wouldn't take this with me in a handbag that sits out in the sun, for instance, because that's going to be a very melty mess. This feels like a balm going on, but it has the pigment of a matte. It stays put. And it's so lovely, and because of the hydrating formula, it fills in all the lines of your lips. It's got a hint of shine. It looks super natural. It's truly my lips, but better. For the people that know me though, you know I love a good bright lip. I like these sheer formulas, but a good bright fuchsia pinky shade? I'm just in love, and one of the best things that has come out is by CATRICE. It's in their Scandalous matte range, and this is 080, let me see again, Casually Overdressed, and so many of you told me that you picked this up upon my recommendation. It is a fuchsia pink, but it looks quite purple, so it's got that cooler undertone, which I think is really lovely. And of the Scandalous mattes, this one and the one I'll be showing you in a minute are my 2 favorites and most worn. Some people always ask me, like, but do you ever go back to Essence and CATRICE? If it's truly this good, I will, and they end up being my favorites, which is why I love trying these brands. I've got some Essence products that I've tried recently in my top 3 in every category as well. But yeah, these CATRICE Scandalous Matte, amazing formula, really good shade range, and this was the first time in a long time that CATRICE did a shade that wasn't a beigey nude or a red. Another great fuchsia has been just a love of my life. This is the shade Love Before Breakfast. And it doesn't look that interesting in the tube. It looks like a very muted color, but this comes to life on the lips, at least for me. And I just really like this. It's like Mildred Rosewood that I just showed you in the satin formula. So this is full on pigment. This is the new, like the only formula I've tried that comes close to the discontinued Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche. That used to be one of my favorite formulas, but then they went back, or like they went away. I don't know where they went. I think you can still buy some Bite Beauty if you go to a Bite Beauty store, but the brand as such has stopped to exist, and this is the only formula I've tried that has that very intense pigmentation in still a very comfortable formula, which is why I love this one. But where would we be without Lisa Eldridge's Insanely Saturated in Skyscraper Rose? Again, over, I think in the spring or like early summertime, I updated my Luxuriously Lucent and Insanely Saturated video for you guys. So if you want to see this going onto my lips, you can check out that video. And make sure to add any links that I can think of off the top of my head in the description box, so it's a bit easier for you to find. But yeah, this is a lovely color, and whenever I put this on in a video, so many of you are giving me compliments. It is a bit of a deeper rose, but that's why it works. I feel that Love Before Breakfast is more that classic fuchsia, and this is a little bit of a deeper, more berry-leaning shade. This is so great in the fall time, and I can't wait to wear it again in like October, November time. And finally, last but not least, we need to talk about one of my favorite colors of lipstick, reds. And I think my red preference has changed just a little bit, but of course I have to feature my Lisa Eldridge in Velvet Ribbon. Like Velvet Muse, this is down to like a very small nub. I've used this so much. If you're looking for a more available, more easily available, more affordable dupe, then KIKO's Velvet Passion in the shade Cherry is this. And I'm suspecting that some KIKO products are made in the same factory as Lisa Eldridge. I believe this is also made in Italy, right? Yeah, made in Italy. So I'm guessing that may be, or at least closely related, you could say. So if you want to look for dupes for Lisa Eldridge, especially the true velvets, I feel that the Velvet Passion range from KIKO is your best bet. But they seem to have discontinued a lot of shades, and I'm not exactly sure which ones are available now compared to what I still have. But yeah, this is just one of my favorite reds. It's very bright for a classic red. And I feel that as far as classic reds go, if you want something that's a little bit more muted from Lisa Eldridge, then I would recommend Velvet Duchess. Velvet Ribbon is super bright, so if you want to tone it down just a little bit, you don't want it to be too blue tone, but you want to try a Lisa Eldridge lipstick, I would suggest Velvet Duchess. That's Velvet Ribbon, but it's a little bit more muted down. But I actually have some other favorites that do that deeper classic, true classic red that isn't overly vibrant. Charlotte Tilbury Red Carpet Red used to be in here, but that's been dethroned. I've actually decluttered a lot of my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks now that I have the Gucci and the Lisa Eldridge ones. Still have that though, but MAC's Russian Red. It just needs to get another mention because I've been with this lipstick for such a long time. This has been through the ringer. Again, it's flattened out for a very long, quite a bit. I don't wear this as often as I should because I just love the Lisa Eldridge range so much. And that's what's front and center, but this is such a classic. I mean, it was created for Madonna for one of her tours in the 90s, and I just really appreciate this lipstick, especially if you're blonde and you've got deeper eyes like I do. Definitely give a shot to Russian Red by MAC because it's such a good classic, and I think this can look good on anyone. And last but not least, the reason why my Charlotte Tilbury Red Carpet Red has been dethroned. CATRICE Scandalous Matte in shade 090, Blame the Night. And CATRICE can do reds, but a lot of the reds they had been doing recently were more towards the berry or deeper red leaning. A good classic red had not been done by CATRICE for years until they did this. It is stunning. It's got enough blue. It's not overly orangey leaning. It is absolutely gorgeous. So CATRICE, well done. you've dethroned a luxury makeup brand in my makeup collection as one of my favorites. So those are all of the lipsticks that I wanted to share with you in today's video. My top 3 favorite in every category lipstick edition, or lip edition I should say, because it's a little bit more than just lipstick. But yeah, I hope you got something out of it, that it was helpful to get this overview, where my preferences now lie, what I've been trying, whether anything has changed. Those Lisa Eldridge lipsticks are probably going to stay up there until the length of days. Who knows? But yeah, I have 3 more videos coming for you this week where we will be chatting about my top 3 favorites. So I hope you'd like to stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and then I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye!